recap Wisconsin quickly. Again, offensively made maybe some strides run game, but at the same time still inconsistent. Stevens Houston, I think, is getting better, running harder. We had a few changes. Probably helped us short term. I don't know if they helped us long term. So we probably got maybe Wisconsin, maybe with a couple new formations where they weren't maybe as clean as they would like to be. So we got to make sure, against like we figured out the run game. It was nice to have it a little bit better. But at the same time, our passing game has definitely fallen off. Protection-wise, quarterback having confidence, staying in the pocket. We complete one third down pass. We completed one down the field pass on 1st and 10. The rest of the passes we completed were play actions off the running game or run deals. So just our efficiency in intermediate, high percentage throws. We're struggling that way. So the run game picked up a little bit. That's nice. I still think we got a long way to go there. But I do think, Steven, short term, 2 weeks in a row. Probably one of the few guys we've had one solid game and came back the next week with another solid performance. And we'll keep building him. And hopefully with that, we'll keep D'Angelo and Matt Perez moving forward. Offensively, 3 turnovers. One time they go 80 yards, but all 3 did lead to scores. A punt execution that was poor for a 20-yard touchdown drive, a punt return. So we give a good team, easily 21, 28, 31 points, and then they played pretty good on their part defensively. Didn't tackle well, didn't get off blocks well, and we just got a lot of work to keep doing. Made some strides, a couple, 3 weeks getting better, but that was a little bit of a step backwards against those guys. But again, Wisconsin, decent team. Moving on this week to Iowa coming in, another solid, really good team. 4-2. They'll look to get their running game going as they did last week against Northwestern. They haven't ran the ball quite up to their standard, what Coach Ferentz and their guys are used to. The quarterbacks played great defensively with Coach Norm Parker and Phil Parker. Those guys have been there for decades, and they're solid, and they play good defense. They, like Wisconsin, they don't give up big plays. They make you earn it. They typically don't turn the ball over, play sound football, and they're going to kicking game. Some things we're trying to get to. Again, another program I respect, and the job Coach Ferentz does, I think they're really good. So another good challenge going to get those guys. Good start yesterday, Monday. Yeah, I think your guys are battling with good attitude. Young guys are getting better. Old guys are fighting through it. And we'll march on here to Iowa City. Questions? Yeah, Bobby went yesterday, and he just got the end of practice Wednesday. In one of their little sessions, just got hit in the head and a little woozy. And with the tests and the way those things are, you're pretty, very, very cautious, with some of the things going there. So, he wasn't allowed. I think he was close Saturday. But again, long term, he did practice yesterday. Matter of fact, my concern yesterday was don't overdo it, with both his Coach Dearson and himself to get back in, but looked good and was out. And we were in shoulder pads thumping around. It wasn't a walkthrough. DeMarlo has done some light work. Kind of tweaked his knee, was having a hard time walking Saturday. So after he got hurt, so we just put him in street clothes for the second half for his sweats. But he did practice a smidge, although we'll see day to day if he's up to speed. Will Maddie didn't practice yesterday and as we move forward. He's not been ruled out. It'll be as we go through the week. He's got like a sprained knee, not major, but at the same time, can he play with it and be strong and stable and mobile? Well, again, good question. Again, we started the year pretty decent, on third down the first couple, 3 games, but you're playing better opponents. So we played through 3 pretty stout defenses. And again, when you do get behind chains, playing uphill, protection-wise with the young guys, we got some guys that, the pocket will get pushed. So for timing, and as I say all the time, the receivers, you're not trying to beat the corner, the safety on the route. You're trying to beat the guy rushing the quarterback. So as coaches, we got to continue to look. Last week we did a few things to try to help us on the edges, to try to help, the defensive ends with some maximum protections or guys staying in. I actually had that the week before on a play that was a fumble and a touchdown return. There was a max pro, but we're trying to help those guys out. We try to screen one time on second long, we misconnect on. We've tried doing it, had a couple quarterback draws. I mean, you keep trying to do some things to be rush friendly, to help. You got to put yourself in position, that offensive lineman, the matchup. So do you give him double team help? Do you chip with backs or tight ends? Do you max and keep everyone in? Do you run screens and draws? But when we get behind, it's, you want to be ballpark 50% on third down in the long haul. You'd like to think on 3rd and 1s and 2s, you're going to be 80 to 90%, and 3rd and mediums, you're going to get about half. And when you get to 3rd and more than 10s, you're going to be 20%. And at the end, it works out to being about half. So our deal is when we get behind chains with a penalty, our first 5 drives, 4 times we go across midfield, 1 time we score on the long run, and the 1 time we don't, we get a holding call. When the drive's bogged down because of a 3rd and 2, we jump off sides. 1 time we get it down, 2nd and 8, we throw a quick pass that we don't throw, and we get called for holding and play. Actually, the way the quarterback threw it could have been a pick. So, again, we've moved the ball, but once we have a penalty or once we have a play that gets us 2nd and 12, we don't tend to overcome that real good. We did the other day with a couple runs. Our first 3rd and 6, we just ran the ball for about 12 yards. So, again, we just got to keep looking at putting our guys in matchups. So you can say you want to throw it on 3rd and long. I think, again, defensively, we feel like, we need to score some points offensively, help the defense. But then that being said, we're getting one-dimensional and throwing it too much, and the ball's in the air and on the ground too much, and we're turning, and then we're hurting the defense. So you keep trying to put it together. I'm watching some teams play that are playing really strong defense, and they're playing very, very vanilla offensively. But that being said, as they put it together, it's giving them a chance to win. We're not being good on either side of the ball right now. The offense is stressing the defense out. So, Dustin, the key deal is we can't just go run, throw it on 3rd down. But when we get 3rd and 8 or more, we're not going to be we're not really good. We converted 1 the other day, but most teams aren't that good, and we're not quite as good as some teams are that need, so we're going to be less than that. So our best drives are when 1st and 2nd downs don't get us to 3rd down, or 1st and 2nd downs get us to 3rd and manageables, and we stay on schedule, or 1st and 2nd downs get us to 4 down territory, as we did the other day on 4th and 2, and we actually ended up calling a play wrong, and the quarterback went the wrong way, and we lose the play there. So. Well, yeah, and again, we do a fair amount of, that's why some of those, quote, post chops we had are on some of the quick protections where we're cutting and the guy is trying to help a buddy and the guy goes low, and those are quick slant passes or fade outs and quicks, and we've had a few glitches and penalties along the way when you're cutting protection to slow the rush down, to help some young linemen out, and you're going behind chains there. So we have a fair amount, and I remember early 90s at Miami of Ohio, great coach at Pittsburgh, for the Steelers, one of his comments was, "You guys seen zone blitzing?" Me and Sean Payton went to visit him. He said, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, you're going to see it. And ask yourself how much you can throw slants on 3rd down. So, we always start with what are the easiest protections that can we get 5 yards on that, or 6 yards, or 7 yards, or 8 yards. So as we do our game plan on 3rd and long, we always look at what are the easiest protections to get it done. That being said, our receiver play's been very, very poor, going back to Penn State play with all the drops. We're not playing with any sense of speed and urgency out there. If you watch our receivers play, we play very fast on routes, and then when it's a run play, we jog off the ball. Our young players are battling, getting better, but we need better receiver play. So it's a collective deal. I don't think the quarterbacks trust the line. I think the receivers don't practice or play with speed, that the quarterback knows where he's going to be. And we're just an offense and a passing game that's completely out of sync. And that's real. Now, how do we fix that? We keep practicing, staying positive, but point being said, we've got to find some passing that works as we move forward. So.
When you get off to a 1-6 start, you're coming off to a big loss. Do you worry at all about losing some of the older guys mentally? They start tuning out because they're looking for the end of the season.
You lose guys all the time, and so I'm not really. We're trying to stay positive. We're not pointing fingers, and we're trying to practice hard. But that being said, I think as we move forward, we're seeing a lot more positive energy out of some of the young guys as we move forward. And that's nothing against the old guys. Again, I've doing some things with those guys as they're kind of doing our leadership of doing some of our post-practice work when guys are missing class and taking a leadership role. And I didn't do a good job initially, I think, of getting those guys to run. Every team's run by your players. And I didn't do a good job maybe getting our senior guys, collectively doing things the way I think we need to do it. So not mad at them. But at the same time, we're playing. We do have a fair amount of those old guys getting hurt. You go last game, you got Drain out. You got Atkins got a knee sprain, wasn't playing at the end. He's out. He won't be dressing this week. It looks like he's out. I know Jones has been out. Belcher was out. You know, I mean, so you're getting to a point where senior-wise, you're actually, some of those guys aren't even in the practice mix. So a lot, that being said, there's a lot of young guys working, and that's where there is a lot of positive stuff. I think these young guys, we keep saying who plays best, and it's Mark Murphy, who had a winning performance, Stephen Houston. And so a lot of the young guys are doing well. And again, we'll keep, you know, pushing those guys and keep pleading for the old guys to finish there, because they're, you know, all those guys are on track to graduate. They're all going to be Hoosiers for life. We want them to finish with a good experience. We're playing some games on the stretch we can win. Tough challenge this week. Be good to win it. But again, we're going to keep practicing hard, but keep practicing positive. Like to see some of those old guys embrace that. It's a two-way street, though. So we need those guys to do it.
Is it easier to get the young guys to buy in because they're going to have more time in the program?
Yeah, I don't know. I just think when you're playing, you know, I mean, the more Stephen Houston has played, now he's picked it up. Now, D'Angelo's a young guy, hadn't played much the last couple of weeks. So what's his body, you know, body language and mind thought process as he's battling through that. So, I mean, sometimes it's just, you know, when you're having success, whether it be personal or as an offense or defense, or if you're a specialist, if you're having success, you kind of create your own energy. And so, you know, I mean, there's some young guys probably not doing well either. I mean, again, each guy, again, I think our game's very stressful. We work awfully hard, and I think there's a lot of stress on these guys. You know, we got them up early, you know, working hard, going to class, study hall at night till 10 o'clock. They're working, I guess some guys working 13-hour days. It looks like when I look at their class commitment, practice commitment, study hall commitment, and we got 4 hours of time that's athletic related. I mean, I got guys that are starting at 6 or 7 in the morning, getting done at 9 or 10 at night. And that being said, when you're working hard, if you're having game success, school and everything does well. When you're not having game success, I see guys falter. So to me, the real deal is we're building forward is trying to find ways to stay positive and have success and keep working hard. And that's what we're trying to do in practice. That's what we're trying to do off the field. And some guys are struggling with it, but some guys are doing well with it.